topic that I am going to be discussing today. So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about dealing with competition. And with my business consulting and training that I do, I get a lot of people that wind up obviously getting upset when competition pops up. And a lot of times it's direct competition. And you know, in the spray tan industry, it seems that a common thing that happens is, you know, you spray tan somebody for a while, they kind of ask you questions at the appointment, and then all of a sudden you find out that they decided to start their own spray tan business. So, you know, understandably, that's frustrating for the spray tan pro, you know, to see their clients go ahead and do their own thing without telling them, without even mentioning them. And, you know, they kind of feel duped, like, you know, in a way they were secret shopped. And sometimes that beauty pro feels mad. Sometimes they kind of feel embarrassed that, you know, they were just trying to be nice and they gave away some of their trade secrets or so. So that being said, you know, if you're in a situation where you have a customer and they're just asking you questions that maybe a normal customer shouldn't ask, don't ever feel like you are being put on the spot to have to divulge, you know, information that you took long and hard to learn. So if, you know, you're spray tanning a client or providing a beauty service and they say, well, how did you learn to do this or learn to do that? You don't need to explain that to them. You know, you could simply say, well, you know, I took training and it took a long time to learn how to do this. I took education. So, you know, that's one thing I just really want you guys to know. Don't ever feel awkward, like, you know, you're not being nice if you don't give them the tricks of the trade per se. So, as far as competition goes, competition is just something that is never going to go away. No matter what beauty job that you have, there is always competition. There is going to be competition with your spray tanner, nail tech, hairstylist, lash artist. It's just the way it is. And understandably, you know, if you have a successful business and you're working really hard and then you find out that you have a new competitor in your hometown or, you know, a few blocks away, or even, like I said, an old client that decided to start their own spray tan business, you know, understandably, you know, people could tend to freak out a little, especially if it's a situation where maybe you have mutual friends on Facebook, or maybe you belong to, you know, an organization, like your kids go to the same cheer team or the same soccer club or baseball team or something like that. So, you know, a lot of times you are going to have competition that have the same pool of friends and clientele. So what I want to really touch upon is something that, you know, most people don't say. You guys need to make sure that you're stepping up your own game as far as marketing yourself. So again, you can't prevent people from coming into the scene, but what you can do is really work on focusing your marketing efforts, because you want to show your customers why they should be still booking with you. And a lot of times when a new spray tanner comes on the scene, you know, they are doing cheap prices. And, you know, the person consulting with me always says, you know, well, not always, but most of the time, hey, you know, they're doing $25 spray tans, I charge $50, should I go ahead and lower my prices? And, you know, that's understandably, you start to freak out because you're afraid you're going to start losing people on price point. But that is the worst thing you could do. So if you're charging $45 or $50 a spray tan, and somebody is just now have a new business and they want to run a special for $20 tans or $25 mobile tans, what you have to do at this point is you have to go ahead, market yourself, you know, show your credentials. And, you know, a fact of the matter is when we tend to be successful in business, you know, we kind of get comfortable sometimes with the client base that we have. And it's a common thing that, you know, when you're comfortable with that client base, you're not necessarily making those efforts to get in new clientele. And that's something you always have to be doing, because, you know, if you're going to have competitors pop up, you are going to lose some people. It's just a fact of the matter. You know, some people may want to try someone new because they are cheaper. Or even so, there's going to come a point that even if you have steady clients, people's situations could change. They could maybe not afford to do the beauty service as much. Maybe they wind up moving, relocating, or again, they just want to, just maybe they did find somebody else that they like. So a big problem that I see is beauty pros getting too comfortable focusing on the clientele that they have. So whether you're, 1 year or 10 years in the business, you should always be having that influx of new clientele. So this way, when you do have competitors pop up, and if you do lose some people going to them, you will constantly have that steady stream of new revenue. So again, that is so important. And it's kind of going to the grassroots marketing that, don't get lazy. Don't get lazy with your marketing. Just because you have a full book, you never know when that is going to change. And again, and it's happened to me, it's happened to many people I know. And then, if you have a constant stream of new people, if you do wind up losing some to competitors, you don't have to worry as much because you always have those efforts bringing in new business. So again, don't be complacent. Again, when you advertise yourself, focus on your skills. Many of you that are spray tanning are also estheticians, you're also licensed cosmetologists. Some of you are even in the nursing field that I've spoken to. So you have to step up your A game in your marketing. So for instance, you have somebody that popped up into the scene offering 25 mobile spray tans in your area. That's when you need to start getting on Facebook. You need to start saying, not just that you offer spray tans, but why somebody should book with you. Emphasize your training. If you got spray tan certified, emphasize that you are a professional, fully trained. Focus on that, color bases, skin tones. Spray tan they have to wear for 5 to 9 days. So you need to focus on those type of marketing features. Another thing is get a website. Again, I know many successful spray tanners and beauty pros, they don't have a website. They just pretty much go word of mouth, maybe a Facebook page. But what happens is when your competition gets in your local market, which they will, you have to spread yourself around to really maximize your visibility. I kind of call it like dating, that if you're single, nobody's going to just come and find you. You have to put yourself out there so people could find you. So maybe right now, you're getting word of mouth, you're getting busy, but you need to expand how people are going to find you. So again, I always say have a website. Most people, new customers, a lot of maybe older people, they're not on Facebook. They're not going to find your Facebook page or maybe your Facebook ad. So you need to have a website so when somebody does a Google search, they could find you. So that's just pretty much as far as that goes. But again, when the competition comes, I know it's very frustrating. I know it's very frustrating to those that have worked hard to build your business. And again, you find that maybe somebody that has been a loyal customer decides to go ahead and buy a machine and learn to do something behind your back. And now, your friends may be going to them. But just keep this in mind. Any successful business owner, is going to be profitable. That is something that is going to take you from day one of your business to being in the industry years from now. So what I always say is, if somebody wants to shortchange themselves and charge a really cheap price for the services, think about what they're really netting when all is said and done. Because one thing people don't factor in when you're pricing yourself is, especially with spray tanning, it's not that somebody comes, you spray tan them, and they're on your way. You have to spend your time calling them before, texting them, answering their questions. After the spray tan, many customers have questions that they text you and they want to run things by you. So you have to factor all of that time that you're spending texting, on the phone calls, on emailing, that eats into your profit margin. So if somebody is spending, charging $25 and they want to drive a half hour to do their beauty service, and besides their mobile time, they're taking time to answer phone calls, they're taking time to answer emails. Hey Jeremy, they're taking time to do all of that. That eats into the profit margin. So if somebody is just going to be a competitor and pop up there and think it's so easy to do and they're charging cheap prices, they're not gonna be able to make a good amount of money to really take them into the long run. So never ever drop your prices just to try to compete with the new kid on the block because you're paranoid that, oh my God, they're cheaper than me, they're gonna take my business away. You have to show your worth, and you have to explain your worth to your clients. They are paying you for a service. Again, if you're certified, put that on your website, post your certificate. If you've taken training, highlight that, emphasize that. You want to use the points to make yourself more appealing. And you know, I can't stress that enough. And again, always have new customers. Don't get too comfortable. Don't get cocky. Don't think, oh, well, you know, I've been getting, you know, I'm so slammed. I'm always going to be slammed, because I'm telling you, you know, there's always a time that, you know, customers unfortunately are going to fall off, and you have to fill that slot. When you go out, carry your business cards everywhere. Leave them with the waitress, leave them with the bartender. Anywhere you can leave them, leave them. Again, get a website. Put yourself on, you know, different yellow page listings or anything that will come up when somebody does a search. Because when people are looking for a new beauty professional, many of them do turn to Google and they just look. One thing, again, very important when you're dealing with competition: maximize your website. You all need to have an About Me page. When somebody's going to your website and they're looking to book with you, this is your chance to shine. Again, the About Me page, just don't say who you are and why you want to spray tan or do the beauty service. You need to list your credentials. That's a very crucial thing on a website. That's where you sell yourself. Also, if you've been in the game for a long time and you have top reviews, you need to get them on your website. I see so many people that have amazing reviews, but they're not showcasing them. And if you don't showcase them, people aren't going to see them. They're not going to find them. So again, you know, be proud of your accomplishments. You work hard, you take time to train, you take time to learn, you know, you soak this all in, you get great reviews. You need to be putting that out there. Those are the things that are going to make you stand apart from your competition. So again, we've been kind of lucky in the spray tan world. Not a lot of, we don't have the competition, just say, as maybe a hairdresser does. You know, that there's somebody on every corner, but spray tanning is more popular. People are turning to airbrush tanning, and again, it's not easy. It's not easy that all you do is buy a machine. There's a lot to learn. And if you've invested in your education, you need to make sure your clients understand that, you know, tell them why you're not going to turn them orange. Show your portfolio, and those are ways that are going to set you apart from your competition. So again, it's just something that we can help. Any industry has competition, but you know, handle yourself as a true professional, and just do the best you can to really put your credentials out there. Make that potential customer want to book with you, and if there's a price difference, explain why you are giving them, you know, the value of what you're charging. So again, I hope this helps. I hope I touched on some tips that could help you guys. And again, I can't stress enough your About Me page. You know, shine. Let them see what you do, what certifications you have, your portfolio pictures and everything. So, and again, that will definitely help set you apart from the competition. And if it's somebody that's within social networks of yours, you know, just if anybody asks, don't get caught in the drama. You know, you're a professional. If somebody decides they want to start a spray tan business or a lash business or something, and maybe you have, you know, mutual friends, or your kids go to the same sports thing, you know, don't ever say anything about it. Oh, well, I can't believe she decided to start something, because it just, honestly, it just doesn't make you look the best. Just hold your head up high and just say, yeah, you know, they did. Best of luck to them. And people will respect you for that. Always take the high road. So thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. And again, I promise next week I will give you all more notice. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about next week, let me know. Let's see. Hi, Mom. Roberta Weinberg joined. My mom's watching today. So anyway, thank you. And if you missed everything, you could go ahead and watch it again. I'm going to save it on this page. And thanks for tuning in, guys.